Hello everyone, my name is MCC and welcome to Everlasting Summer. Last episode, we met our main character, which is apparently a failure at life, and we got on a bus. We moved somewhere, we traveled somewhere, and we don't know where yet, so let's begin to find out where we arrived. I can't speak. Okay. Bright daylight struck my eyes. At first, I didn't pay attention, as I wasn't fully awake yet. On their own, my legs carried me towards the door. So the main character is called Semyon. Damn, it looks like I fell asleep and missed my stop. But there was no door. I looked around the bus and realized that it wasn't a good old worn-out Lias. Instead, the bus was an Icarus model, a new one. I froze in shock. How? What? Am I dead? Have I been kidnapped? No, I must be dead. Yeah, I love how his first assumption is like, am I dead? Ow. I patted myself feverishly, slapped myself painfully in the face a few times, banged my forehead on the back of one of the bus seats. It's clear. Either I'm still alive, or you can still feel pain when you're dead. But how could this happen? Maybe I slept for too long and ended up at the bus depot. And then what? Did they put me onto another bus? I rushed out and took a look around. Greenery wherever I looked at. Tall grass on the roadside, trees, flowers. Summer! But how? It was winter just a moment ago. My head was aching unbearably. Sorry. Okay. As if it was going to explode. Slowly, I began to remember. Ow. Something happened. A long road running off into the distance. Forests, plains, fields, lakes, and forests again. I think I was asleep, but then how can I remember all of it? It's loud. Sorry. And then, a gap. Some girl leaning over me. She softly whispered something into my ear. Then a gap again. A gap in your memories, or like a gap on the road? And then I woke up here. Who was that strange girl? Or was she just a dream? For some reason, thinking about her made me feel better and calmed me down a little. I felt warmth all over, coming from the inside. Could it be her who brought me here? Then I need to find her. And the best place to look for her is away from here. I rushed to the left, then to the right, then stopped, hesitating over where to go. Finally, I ran into the direction from which the bus had probably came. That's the beginning screen. Physical exercise does fresh one's mind. Physical exercise does refresh one's mind. Thoughts became clearer, and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding reality. Not in my case, however. I was sitting on the roadside, wheezing and trying to ease my sore throat by gulping breaths of hot air. In any case, the run did its job. The fear withdrew for a while. Maybe I really am just dreaming. Though, recalling myself home on the bus, I immediately rejected the idea. I am neither dreaming nor dead. A narrow road ran through the field and far into the distance. That exact same road from my dream. I must be very far away from home. Sorry. And it's not just that it was winter yesterday and it's summer now. It's the whole environment. Of course, summer is usually like this, green and hot, but here everything is not entirely lifelike. Everything looks like it was taken from the paintings of Russian landscape artists of the 19th century. The grass is just too lush. The bushes are not like what bushes should be. They are so thick that you can't see anything through them, like treetops, honestly. And the trees themselves. The forest was quite far away, but the trees looked as if they had closed their ranks and were now just waiting for the order to advance onto the fields of plains. Are you like a military man? Advance onto the fields? I caught my breath and looked at the bus, which was now barely visible. That was a good run. Fear overtook me once again. Those power lines. There must be people here. But what does it mean? In fact, that means nothing at all. Couldn't they have power lines even in hell? Why do you think you're in hell? You said that you're in a landscape that resembles Russian landscape artists of the 19th century, and you think that you're in hell. Great way of thinking. Maybe for you it's hell because you've stayed at home for years. Roasting sinners over hot coals? That's so last century. I must have reached the point of no return, after which you should either lose your mind completely or finally try to understand what is going on. And while I still have a choice, I should pick the second option. You're not in the game. I mean, you are, but not in the game. I slowly headed back to the bus. Back. Of course, it was scary. But I'm not likely to find an answer in the fields or the woods. And this wretched bucket of bolts is the only kind of link that I have with the real world. It's from the dream. Sovyanok. I have no idea what that means, but okay. It's in Russian. What? Pioner Lager. Oh, okay. Sure. Like a camp? Pioneer camp? No. I should carefully scout the area. Sovyanok means olet. What? Oh, olet. So like a small owl? Is that what olet is? A brick wall and its great gates crowned with a Sovyanok sign. Statues of pioneers standing on either side, and a road sign nearby showing this bus route number 410. The trip's taking a bit too long today. Sorry. I smirked. I don't know how to spell that. Okay. A person may start acting inappropriately in extreme situations. Something like that is probably happening to me right now. This place didn't look abandoned at all. No rust on the gates. No rust on the gates. No damage to the walls. Sovyanok. What could have a name like that? Judging by the pioneer statues, it could be a kid's summer camp. Yep, a camp. Moreover, it appears to be open. Of course, the simplest explanation, logically speaking, explains nothing at all. The strange girl, the altered bus, summer, the pioneer camp. Thousands of theories went through my mind instantly, from alien abduction to lethargic sleep, from a hallucination to a time and space shift. None was worse than any other, but there was really no way to pick a single one. Then it occurred to me. I can try to make a phone call. I took out my cell phone and dialed the first number from my contact list. Yep. But instead of signal strength bars, the screen was showing a thick cross. Alright, there might be no signal in such a remote place, though I cannot be the only one who came here. Buses don't drive themselves. I examined the bus from all sides to make sure that it wasn't a hallucination. Bits of dirt. No, I can't. Okay. I really should learn how to read. Bits of dirt on the bottom, some rust here and there, faded paint and worn out tires. No, this is definitely a very ordinary Icarus. Yeah, exactly the kind of bus which takes you to places beyond your understanding if you carelessly fall asleep. I gave a nervous chuckle. It came out by itself, sporadically, because this wasn't the right place or time to laugh. But where on earth is the driver? I cautiously sat down on the curb beside the bus and started to wait. My patience didn't last long, yeah. If quarter of a second. My anxiety seemed to have reached its peak, and I started to go slightly mad. In such a situation, anyone would have probably felt something similar. Aliens and parallel universes were gone from my imagination, leaving only void and darkness. Is this how everything will end? How my life will end? But I wanted to do so much. There were so many things that I had no time for yet. I was overwhelmed by the idea this was definitely the end. But why? It's not fair. Surely I'm no worse than anyone else. God, why? Maybe you're not dead, you're just dumb. Sorry for not moving my thing. Tears were burning my eyes unbearably. I curled up and started rolling in the grass. Why? What did I do? Why me? But my cries were only heard by the speechless statues of the pioneers and a bird on a tree, which immediately flapped its wings and took off, crying at something in its own bird language, as if laughing at the idiot who dared to interrupt its dinner nap. I was left breathless from weeping and just lay quietly, sobbing occasionally. Occasional sobbing. After a while, I managed to pull myself together. My mind cleared up a bit, as if terror and the fear of death gave me a little break. All in all, if someone wanted to kill me, what is it all for? It doesn't look like an experiment either. If this is just some crazy coincidence, then there's probably no threat. Anyway, for now, it seems there's no danger. The panic was soon gone. Of course, the blood was still pounding in my temples, and my hands were still shaking, but I'm still shooting. But at least I could think clearly now. Right now, there's nothing I can really change anyway. So no matter how much I think or how mad I get, it would only make things worse. Until some actual facts appear, there is really no point in making guesses. In any case, I won't learn anything by longing about here. Sorry. This camp, if of course it is really a camp, looked like the only place where people could be, so I decided to go there, and hardly had I reached the gates when a girl came out from behind them, wearing a pioneer uniform. Hello. My logic didn't let me down this time. Then again, a pioneer uniform in the 21st century. And then again, a girl here. I froze, unable to take a step. I felt very much like running away. Running as far away as I could from this place. Far from this bus, gates, statues, and far from this bloody bird with its siesta. Just running, free like the wind, faster and faster, waving to the planets passing by, winking at the galaxies. You really like space, don't you? Running, becoming a pulsar ray, and turning into vestigial radiation. Running to face the unknown. Yeah, I really like space. Run no matter where, as long as it's far away from this place. Okay. Meanwhile, the girl came close and smiled. I could not help but notice her beauty, even though I was trembling with fear. Why are you so scared of a girl? Human instincts work independent of consciousness, and while only 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive processes, the remaining 95% are always busy sustaining life, and in particular, ensuring stable functions of the hormonal system. What? I just really wanted to get less complicated and stop thinking in formal quotes from an encyclopedia. Then my thoughts appeared one by one, being stupid, out of place, as if taken from an internal monologue of the hero of some junky, softcover crime fiction book. A pretty Slavic face. Hello, comrade. In the Soviet Russia, the comrades drink you. What? I don't know. A pretty Slavic face, long braids that look like 2 armfuls of fresh hay, and blue eyes you could drown in. Pinnacle. Hi, you must have just arrived. Reply, not reply. Okay, I was a failure, so I'm not going to be a failure this time. I'm gonna reply. Yeah. Alright then. Welcome. She smiled broadly. Strange. It looked as if I had just a normal girl in front of me. Bah, I shouldn't have returned here. The woods and fields seemed better. But what shall I do next? Try to speak with her as if she was a human, or run away, or what? The blood was pumping unbearably in my head, tearing it apart from the inside. A little bit more and the poor pioneer girl would be splattered with the gruesome contents of my skull. Oh, come on, man. What's so funny about that? The girl looked me over. It sent shivers down my spine. Body's aching all the time. Sorry. And my knees started to tremble. Nothing. Great then. Great. What's so great about that? Suddenly, a thought crossed my mind. To hell with it all. Forget about the bus behind me, the fact that it was winter yesterday and summer today. I wanted to rip off my itchy sweater and just accept that all this is actually happening. Everything is as it should be. All this is for the best. Would you happen to know... You should go to our camp leader. She'll tell you everything. Look. You go straight ahead to the square, then turn left. You'll see several small cabins. She pointed at the gates, as if I knew what was behind them. Dmitrievna is a patronymic. Oh, yeah. I am Slavic, I know that. Yeah. A person's father's name, in this case Dmitri, but by Russians after the person's first name as a sign of respect for formal address. Well, you can ask someone where Olga Dmitrievna's cabin is. Got it? Of course I didn't. Well, I've got to go for now. The girl waved her hand at me and disappeared through the gates. It seemed as if to her I was something ordinary. And all this show with the boss and the travels while awake or asleep, were troubling only to me, while everything here is just the way it is supposed to be. Camp leader, pioneer uniform. What are they doing? A historical reenactment here? I hope I won't find Lenin standing atop of an armored car in this square. But even that would not surprise me right now. After standing alone for a while, I headed into the camp. It looks old. A mere 50 meters ahead, a small one-story house popped up on the left side. What's the time here? It's 15 minutes? Okay, sorry. The sign near the door said clubs. I was about to come closer. Jesus Christ, that was loud. Clubby. When the door suddenly opened and a short girl wearing a pioneer uniform came out. Her pretty face gave me the impression of one suffering for the fate of the whole of mankind with a truly universal sorrow. As soon as she saw me, the girl froze, as if frightened. She looks embarrassed, not frightened. I froze too, considering that what was the best to do? To approach first and wait until she showed some initiative. And maybe run away after all. Although this last option was constantly being suggested only by my self-preservation instinct. At least that's what I'd like to believe. Not the worst human instinct, but far from the most logical. If this instinct played poker against deductive, I don't know, abilities, the outcome would be predetermined. And those deductive abilities, at least their semblance, were hinting to me that there was no need to be afraid of this girl. Oh my god. First off, that hairstyle is amazing. Second off, that game is loud as hell. Sorry for turning it down, but it's loud and I don't want to be overlouded. And she has fucking SSR, SSSR, which is like USSR and just in Russian. That music is amazing. Suddenly somebody jumped out of nearby bushes. A girl wearing a bright red t-shirt with USSR written on it. Such a perfect reproduction of the age. She looked quite short from a distance and was probably younger than both pioneer girls, the one at the gates, and this girl at the door of the clubs. What is happening? I really hope I'm not too quiet. At last, I decided to come closer, but the USSR, as I call her in my mind, jumped towards the first girl and started telling her something while wildly waving her arms. The other girl, in turn, seemed confused and lowered her gaze, remaining silent. I'd have probably continued to observe the amusing dialogue, but the USSR suddenly pulled something out of her pocket and started waving in front of the first girl's face. It's a bug. This something turned out to be a grasshopper. Okay, that was a beautiful squeal. Also, that face is glorious. The first girl squealed. She must not be too keen on insects, as she instantly rushed off towards the place where Lenin presumably made his speech about the workers' and peasants' revolution. What? That is to say, towards the square. So fucking stupid. The USSR glanced at me, grinned playfully, and dashed after her. Not a bad start to the day. Sorry. I have absolutely no clue where I am. Besides that, there's some kids here role-playing as pioneers. And as far as I can tell, this place is located thousands of kilometers away from my home. It might even be a different reality. And this was indeed a reality. I mean, everything around me seemed so real, if it little embellished. I don't know what that means. That I was starting to think that in fact my previous life could have been just a dream. And what am I supposed to do now? Just walk into the building. I was picking at the cracked paving stones with my shoe and stared aimlessly at the club's building. Just a few more seconds before I have to come up with some decision. That's when I recalled myself rolling on the grass, weeping. I cringed in disgust. Perhaps it's another instinct. When all energy for whimpering and self-pitying is used up, the body either goes into hibernation or mobilizes its reserves. Mine seemed to have chosen the second option, because, out of the blue, I found a determination to figure out what was going on. And in order to do that, I had to act like a man, like a human, to maintain the dignity of a representative of my own world. Oh, that's so cool. So nice. I followed the path to the left, on the right side of which stood small cabins, apparently the homes of the local pioneers. Actually, they looked quite cozy from the outside. Even though I was born in the Soviet Union, I had never been part of its children's organizations, neither the pioneers nor even the younger October children. You're born in the Soviet Union? How old are you? I imagined the daily life of a typical pioneer camp a bit differently. Huge barracks with long rows of metal bunks, wake up call at 6 o'clock played by a siren, 1 minute to make your bed, joining the formation at the drill square. Oh wait! Could I be confusing it with something else? Yeah, with the worker camps. Suddenly something struck me on the back. I staggered but remained on my feet, turned around and prepared to fight heroically for my life. Hi. But all I found was another girl standing before me, with a very Nice haircut. My mouth hung open in surprise. Pick your jaw up off the ground. I closed my mouth. The same pioneer uniform, but the way she was wearing it looked, let's say, provocative. Like all the girls I had met her before, this one was rather cute, but her overly arrogant expression killed any desire to get to know her better. New here, are you? Fine, see ya. That was fine, see ya. See ya! She threw a threatening glance at me and walked past. Okay. I waited for the pioneer girl to turn at the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to? The most interesting thing was that even this hostile girl seemed completely normal to me. She did not give off the feeling of some deadly danger. I mean, she looked pretty fucking dangerous. Except maybe the danger of getting punched in the nose, yeah. Is this Lenin? Please, I don't know. Come on, I don't want to be... Okay. At last, I managed to make it to the square. There was no Lenin on an armored car, although one could easily expect something like that after all this had happened. Instead, however, a monument to a certain comrade towered in the middle of the square. The letters on the pedestal read Genda, or Gender. Must be some big figure in the party. There was some small benches at the sides. It's quite pleasant here. Where did that girl tell me to go? To the left or to the right? To the left or to the right? I don't know the sides. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And why am I going there anyway? Ah, right. I've decided to pretend to be normal. So, to the right. Through a small grove. I came out at a pyre. Or pier, I don't know. I must have taken the wrong turn. Hey, wrong way. I turned towards the voice. Okay, hello. This is gonna be... it's gonna fucking be flagged for unity, for nudity. Come on. The first girl stood before me. Now what did I tell you? Take a left at the square, wasn't it? She had changed from a pioneer uniform into a bikini. Oh, I still haven't introduced myself. My name is Slavia. Actually, my full name's Slaviana, but everyone calls me Slavia. So you can too. Yeah. Is that all you can say? I still felt a bit focused, so I could not come up with the more meaningful answers. And what's your name? It felt like she could see right through me. Yeah, Semyon. Nice to meet you, Semyon. Alright, almost down here. Could you wait for a minute? I'm going to change and we'll go to Olga Dmitrievna together. Agreed? Agreed. Okay, why is this game so loud in my headphones? That's so bizarre. I need to turn it down a bit. Not up. Jesus. Okay. After this exchange ran off, I sent the pyre, or Pierre, I don't know how to... and let my feet hang into the water. I was wearing heavy winter boots, but in such weather there was nothing wrong in getting my feet wet. Oops. Furthermore, it let me cool myself a little. Looking at the river, I was brainstorming and processing everything that has happened. If this is some kind of conspiracy, it's a weird one, even too friendly at times. No, it really looks more like a random event. Some entirely incomprehensible random event. Shall we go? We're back in the... Great. That's great, better than before. Slavia was standing beside me, dressed in the pioneer uniform again. Let's go. I've been here for a very short time, but of all people I've met, she looks the least suspicious. However, this fact is already suspicious itself. You have paranoia. We walked to the square. Oh, hi. The USSR girl and the girl who hit me on the back were there, chasing each other. Is that some kind of game they're playing? Uliana, enough running. I'll tell everything to Olga Dmitrievna. Aye, aye, Captain. Yes, sir. This is Russian. Why did you have to make it Russian? I decided not to question Slavia for a while about what was going on or the local residents. Better meet with this mysterious Olga Dmitrievna first. Sounds like she's the boss here. We walked past the rows of almost identical cabins, some of which looked like fat beer barrels, while others looked more like household sheds. Finally, Slavia stopped in front of a smallish one-story cabin. Oh, it's a triangle. It looked triangular. It looked like an artist's painting. The faded paint, chipping here and there with age, was sparkling in the sun. The window shutters, slightly ajar, were swaying almost unnoticeably in the wind, and the huge lilac bushes were growing at the sides. Yeah, that's a pretty environment. It seemed as if this ramshackle was drowning in a storm of purple silk, and the lilacs, like some elemental force, were inexorably destroying the troop leader's house. What are you standing for? I really should go to sleep because it's too late and I'm playing this. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Slavia snapped me out of my daydreaming. I am inevitable. And stop teasing Lena already. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ, scared the shit out of me. This is creepy, but okay. Rena? Sounds like there's someone inside. Ow. What the fuck was that? Indeed, a moment later, the door swung open, and Uliana ran out and dashed past with the same mischievous grin. The pigtailed girl came out next. Don't let it bother you, Lena. Lena? So her name is Lena. I don't get that. Maybe Lena is like a Russian urban legend or something like that, or just a legend. Gotta be thankful it's not Lena at least. But I don't. Why are you meowing? I'm sorry, I'm speaking to my cat. My cat is just in the background, laying in the ground and just meowing. Instead of finishing her sentence, she blushed and quickly headed towards the square. For some reason, I felt like turning and following her with my eyes, but Slavia said, Come with me, child. We entered the cabin. Inside it looked something similar to what I'd imagined. 2 beds, a table, a couple of chairs, a simple carpet on the floor, a wardrobe. Nothing special, but at the same time it felt homelike and cozy, although this room was almost in the same state of disorder as my own flat. That's creepy. The girl standing near the window appeared to be about 25 years old. Okay. Nature had obviously gifted her with a pretty face and a good body. Stop being creepy, man. At least one thing can keep you happy in this pandemonium. The locals are beautiful. You're finally awake. You're finally here. Excellent. My name is Olga Dmitrievna. I'm the camp leader. Nice to meet you. I'm Semyon. You finally came up to your senses and you can speak normally. I decided to talk as if I wasn't surprised by anything that was going on. Okay. She came closer. We've been expecting you since early morning. You've been expecting me? Yes, of course. And when does the next bus come? And why do you need it? Yeah, right. Why would I need it? Guess I shouldn't ask direct questions. The people here may react to them quite unlike how I'd prefer. No doubt I get any answers. No reason, just curious. By the way, where are we exactly? Our mailing address, I mean? I wanted to send a letter to my parents to tell them I got here, fine. For some reason, I had a desperate idea that if I played along, I would find something out. Oh, but your parents called just a half an hour ago. Send their regards to you. Sent. Now, that's a surprise. So, can I call them? Because I forgot to tell them something before I left. No. No. She gave me a sweet, spontaneous smile. Why not? We don't have a phone here. Then how could my parents make a call to here? I've just come back. Oh, I've just come back from the district's central town. I talked with them there. Ah, so that's how it is. And can I somehow get to the town? No. She kept the same smile. Why not? Because the next bus only comes in a week. Oh, okay. I decided not to inquire how the troop leader managed to get there and back. I'll get no answer anyway. At this time, Slavia was standing next to me and seemed to find nothing odd in our conversation. Oh, we needed to find a uniform for you. I've got absolutely no desire to put on pioneer shorts or to wear the ridiculous red neckerchief. However, wearing winter clothes in summer isn't a great idea either. Right, thank you. I wonder if I'm the only one here who finds it strange that someone's wearing a coat and winter boots in such heat. Righty-o. I'll be off then, and you can get yourself acquainted with the camp. Acquainted. Don't forget to come to dinner in the evening. Having said that, she walked out of the cabin. No, walked is not the right word. She rushed out. I ended up alone with Slavia. I must go too. Got things to do. Take a walk. Look around the camp a bit. See you in the evening. If there is no threat or catch to this, then this reality, as embodied by Slavia, becomes more and more appealing. This dude is just such a hormonal bitch. For the first time today, I realized that it was awfully hot here. Although, obviously, my winter clothes were to blame for that. I took off my coat and dropped it onto the bed. My pullover followed it. I was now wearing only the shirt. Now that's much better. All I could do now was follow the advice and go look around the camp. I tried to find something out in the meantime. It was the time. Almost 40 minutes. Passing the local residential district, I saw a pioneer pioneer guy coming my way. And it was really a pioneer guy, not a pioneer girl. Apparently there were men even in this kingdom of Amazons. Hello, you're new here. You must be Simeon, right? And how do you... What? Everyone knows already. I'm Electronic, by the way. The real one. You can call me that. Electronic was a robot character appearing in popular Soviet film and book series. He looked like an exact copy of a school kid called Sergei Chezikov or Chizikov. Electronic, the real one. Things were going from crazy to completely insane. Alright. Uliana also calls me Cheesy. Cheesy? On toast? With mushrooms? Because my last name is Chizikov. I see. Let me show you around. I accepted his offer, as if it would have taken much longer to get to know this place alone. Fine, let's go. This makes it nice. We ended up in up at the square again. I should probably turn it a bit down because it's loud. And I'm not that loud. I don't know why. Hello. Okay. We ended up at the square again. As if this place was all there is to this camp. Lena was sitting on one of the benches, reading some book. Electronic confidently approached her. Hello, Lena. Meet the new guy, Semyon. He said briskly. Hello. Well, you could say we've already met in a way. Yes. She looked away from the book for a moment, glanced at me, blushed and went back to reading, as if not noticing that we were still here. Alright, let's go on. I was at first surprised that meeting this girl was reduced to a couple of words, but then I thought that it was better that way. Electronic's vigorous activity did not fit well with Lena's shyness. Let's go. Russian boy. Let's go, Russian boy. Next we came to a building, which is instantly identified as a canteen. And this here, I know, this is where you consume organic food. Yeah, something like that. Oh, come on. On the canteen's porch stood the unfriendly girl who hit me on the back earlier. At the sight of her, my joking mood vanished in a blink of an eye. Really, now is not the best time to be pulling this guy's leg, even though he's quite hilarious. First, I need to figure out what's what here, or at least where am I? Where am I? Her, over there, that's Alisa Dvachevskaya. Be careful around her. Okay, that guy's face just became really disconcerted. Oh, that was a whisper. Come on. He spoke in a whisper. Dva means two in Russian. Don't you say. The whole nickname sounds exactly like Dvach in Russian, a reference to the late 2chan Russian anonymous image board. Yeah, Russian 2chan. Don't ever risk calling her Dvacha. She doesn't like that. What did you say? What did you call me? She must have heard him. In the blink of an eye, Alisa jumped down from the porch and dashed towards us. Alright, you managed from here onwards. Electronic took to his heels. Ew. I could run after him. Can I save here? I want to save here because I don't want to get beaten up by do nothing. Alisa running past, stopped for a moment and growled. I'll deal with you later. Deal with me? What did I do wrong? I did a forceful, guilty smile to my words. But what am I guilty of? She made a reply and carried on, chasing Electronic. Looks like I'll have to kill time alone, waiting for dinner. I decided to go east. At least in the direction where east would be in my world. Ooh, football pitch. Soon after, I found myself near a football pitch. The game was in full swing there. Okay. I guess watching it for a bit wouldn't do any harm. In my childhood and teen years, I was not a bad player myself, and even thought of going professional. But a few injuries in a row killed my desire to risk my health for the sake of uncertain chance in the game. Kids of different ages were running around the pitch. I could see a boy of about 10 and a girl of about 14 years old. A girl. Hey, that's Eliana. Right, so she plays football. What's so surprising? She seems a restless one after all. I was standing quite far from the pitch, but she still noticed me. Hey you! Eliana shouted. Wanna play? I didn't know how to answer. On the one hand, running around for 10 minutes is no big deal. On the other hand, any wrong move in my situation could be my final one. But in any case, my attire wasn't suitable for this weather. If I played in winter boots and warm jeans, I would sweat like a pig. And playing barefoot and without jeans would be simply unethical. Maybe another time, alright? I shouted in response, turned around and walked back. I was followed by Eliana's screams about my pants, or about me being pantsy, or something like that. About my Evening was falling, making me feel tired and empty after a day wasted with no real purpose. I'm at the thing again. That's a cool cloud though. I like clouds. Also, I didn't take a while to appreciate the lovelihood of this art style. Like, it's so nice. Could admit that. I came back to the square, sat down on a bench, and gave an exhausted sigh. I'd better sit here and wait for dinner. After all, it's easier to search for answers when you're not hungry. They do give food to the people here, right? You know, it's curious how the simplest human needs can break the will to ponder on things, to strive for something. For example, I feel hungry now, so I care much less about where I am or what is happening to me. Could great people also be affected by this? And in that case, how did Spartacus start the slave uprising in ancient times? Ancient. I can only conclude that I'm not a great person, and it does not really matter which mechanism I serve as a gear in. Society, the Matrix, or read Pioneer Camp. The Matrix. I want to serve the Matrix. Also, why did the audio not turn on? That was weird. Sorry, there were probably weird cuts in the game audio because I just realized my OBS was configured poorly. Okay, happens. Okay, my thoughts were interrupted by the sound of bells chiming from a loudspeaker on a light pole. That was not a bell. It must be the dinner call. I headed towards the canteen. It was a good thing that now I knew where it is. It is. Olga Dmitrievna was there, standing on a porch. I stopped and looked closely at her, as if I were expecting something. She looked back at me for a while, but at least came closer. Semyon, what are you waiting for? Come in already. Comrade, come in. What are you waiting for? Guess nothing bad can happen if I go with her. My stomach backed me up here. So many people here. There's a boy, and there's a boy, I think, and a girl, and a boy, and a lot of people. This person, oh my god. The two of us went inside. The canteen looked like a canteen. You don't say. I'd had a chance to visit a factory canteen at some point in my life. This one was exactly the same, just maybe a bit cleaner and more modern. Metal chairs and tables, glazed tiles in the walls and on the floor, and sophisticated tableware with the occasional crack. Guess that's what a canteen in a pioneer camp is supposed to look like. She looks like Megumin for some reason, but okay. Semyon, wait a moment. We'll find you a place to sit. She looked around the place. Oh no. Dvachevskaya, hold it right there. Olga Dmitrievna shouted to Alisa, who was passing by. What? What's up with your clothes? Anything wrong with them? Indeed, her tie looked somewhat provocative. I already said that. Get your uniform nice and neat right now. Alright. Really? You were such... Oh, I see why. Okay. Sorry. Alisa got her shirt right and walked past, shooting an unpleasant glare at me. I didn't do anything. Oh no. Get out. No. I know. Okay, sure, not now. So, where can you find your place to sit? There are a lot of free seats. Go over there, next to Liana. Next to Liana. Yeah, it's fine. The food's already on the table too. I had no other choice but to accept. Cutlet. A compote. Yes, compote with cutlet. I hadn't had compote in a long time. Like, maybe 2 years by now? Yeah, in common Russian language, also in Polish, cutlet, is minced meat. Exactly. Fried or baked in the shape of a ball or a cylinder close to American patties. That's correct. Compote is a drink made by boiling fresh or dried fruit in a large amount of water. Compote and for the French. That's almost exactly like in Polish, because Polish and Russian are both Slavic countries and Slavic languages. Also, I didn't read. Of course, there was the... of course, there was the probability that the cutlets were poisoned with curare, the mashed potatoes generously seasoned with shenik, and the glass filled with excellent antifreeze instead of compote. But it all looked so tasty that I had no chance to resist. Hey! What do you want? I replied rather rudely to Rihanna, who was sitting next to me. Why didn't you play football with us? What is this, Rose? Because of my clothes. Said I, pointing at the source of the problem. Oh, alright then. Eat. Yeet. However, there wasn't much left to eat. My cutlet was missing from the plate. Only she could have done it. No, more precisely, none but Uliana could have done it. Give me back my cutlet! Not even cutlet, cutlet. In a big family, you snooze, you lose. It can cost you a cutlet if you are careless. Give it back, I'm telling you. Time to take a cutlet and not take the cutlet. My cutlet. I looked at her menacingly and was about to reach out my hand. See, I don't have it. And indeed, Uliana's plate was empty. It seemed that this little girl eats as fast as she steals someone's cutlets. Take it easy, we'll work something out now. She grabbed my plate and ran off. There was no point in following her. If they wanted to poison me here, they could have done it in a much easier way. About a minute later, Liana returned and handed me the plate with a steaming hot cutlet in it. Nice. Oh, sorry. Here's one for the starving. Thanks. That's all I could say. I was so hungry that my suspicions were gone in a flash. I picked up the cutlet with a fork and... What the... Some bug! No, not a bug. An insect. A centipede. It's got legs and it's wiggling! Ow. The plate fell to the floor and broke into pieces. The chair hit me hard on my leg while falling. I've disliked insects since I was a child, but when these creepy crawlies appeared on my plate, that was just way too much. You little... Liana seemed ready for such a twist and was already at the door, laughing as if she had just heard a fresh stand-up comedy joke. I dashed after her. Ran out of the canteen. Damn it, music! Sorry, I need to appreciate the music right now. Some fucking Slavic metal. Russian metal. We were just a few dozen meters apart, and I felt I could catch this little girl easily. Ran through the square, past the club's house, ran out the forest path. I was at the gasp for breath. I should have quit smoking, I guess. You're smoking? Come on, man. But then I passed out of sight on the next turn. It can't be true that she managed to get away from me. It simply can't. I stopped and tried to catch my breath again. Night was falling. Looks like I'm lost. It's a bad idea to stay in the woods at night, but I get back to the camp. However, I had absolutely no clue which way to go. Well, gotta choose at random. Ah, that's so nice. Such a nice evening. I wanted for some time in the forest, and thought of crying for help, but finally I saw the camp's fence beyond the trees. Everything fell back into place. The bus is gone, I mumbled quietly. On the one hand, there was nothing strange about that. The bus couldn't just stay there forever. On the other hand, it meant there was someone driving, because buses do not drive themselves. Or do they? This world seemed too normal, but every event here had at least two explanations for it: an ordinary, real, everyday explanation, and a surreal one. Certainly, the driver could have just been off for a snack, and I left too soon. That's why. In any case, this is not the place for me. Whether the bus drives itself or not was probably an important question, but it was much more important to know how I got here after all. At all. And where this here was. The fields and the woods stretching towards the horizon had no answers. There was nothing familiar about them. It could be somewhere in sunny Kazakhstan. A strange, odd, and alien world. However, at the same time it was absolutely not frightening. Either my self-preservation instinct decided to resign from his job, or all this running around the camp and the local pioneers had lulled me so much with their carefree normality that I was simply forgetting what had happened to me just a couple of hours ago. Although I probably just had no strength left to worry. All I wanted was some peace, calmness. I wanted to just have a break from it all, and only after that would I continue looking for answers, ready and reloaded. However, that would be some time later. What about now? Can I allow myself to relax? You're still hungry. Ah, such a nice night. It got completely dark, and in any case, it was better to spend the night in the camp. I was about to head back when someone came up suddenly from behind. Hello, why are you doing here so late? It was Slavia standing before me. I was so surprised at a jump. Jumped. So, you didn't catch Liana, did you? She smiled. I nodded disappointedly and sighed. No wonder. No one ever has. Yeah, she's a real rocket girl. Yeah. She could have found a better use for energy than looking for adventures. You must be hungry. You didn't manage to have a dinner after all. Ew. Indeed, I had completely forgot about my hunger, but after these words of hers, my stomach drew attention to itself by giving a traitorous rumble. Slavia smiled. Let's go then. What, is the canteen still open? It's alright, I have the keys. The keys? Yes, I have the keys to all the facilities in this camp. How come? Well, I'm something like the camp's leader's aide here. I see. Well, let's go. There's an offer you can't refuse. You can get a cutlet. When we reached the square, Savlia stopped in her tracks. Excuse me, I should warn my roommate that I'll be late. She's so punctual herself that she'll be worried otherwise. You can go on to the canteen and I'll come in a minute, right? Alright. Alright, mate. I really did not expect to find somebody aside from myself there at such a late hour. And that somebody was apparently trying hopelessly to open the door. Without any secret thoughts, I walked up onto the porch. The luck picker turned out to be Elisa. I should have probably kept off and waited. She looked at me intently for a while and then said, "Don't just stand there, give me a hand or something." Meaning? Help me open the door. Why? Because I want some buns and kefir. Dinner wasn't big enough. Is that really a good idea? Aren't you hungry yourself, huh? Mariana didn't let you have a normal dinner, did she? She smiled sarcastically. It's true, she didn't. It's fine, Slavia will come now and... What? Guess I shouldn't have said that. I'm off then. And you'll pay for this. You owe me 2 already. Having said that, Elisa disappeared into the night. That was a good reaction. And what was the first one? Slava didn't keep me waiting for too long. Is everything alright? Yeah, why are you asking? There isn't. It's nothing. It would be better if I didn't tell her about Elisa. Everything's fine. I said that and immediately heard a note of dishonesty in my voice. Well, shall we go? As for Slavia, she seemed not to have noticed anything. Or at least she was pretending she hadn't. It's a nice at night. What's that? I don't know. Went to the canteen. Wait a bit, I'll go get something. Eat something, I would say. How long are we recording for? An hour and 28 seconds. I sat down on a chair and obediently waited for my savior. Ah, change in art style. My dinner was simple, a few buns and a glass of kefir. Kefir. Whatever that. No wonder, I bet hungry pioneers finished everything off. However, even that was far better than most of my usual diet. Slavia sat across the table and looked at me while I was eating. Yeah, this concerned look. Is there something on my face? No, just... She smiled. So, how did you like your first day in the camp? That's some nice music. Oh shit. Sorry for that. Well, I don't really know. That is too loud music. Yeah, I'm also very quiet for some reason. It's silly to ask someone who suddenly found himself in a different reality whether he liked the food in the canteen, the camp leader, or his assigned hut. It's alright, you'll soon get used to it. Slavia stared out the window dreamily. Frankly speaking, I have no desire to get used to such things, but as for her, she doesn't know. Or at least she wants me to think that she doesn't. Well, all in all, it's nice here. Let's somehow break the awkward silence. You think so? She asked without any interest. Yeah, this place is so... I wanted to say retro, but I managed to hold that back. After all, it was retro for me, but what for them? It might be the only kind of life they knew. If the term life was applicable here at all. So how? She watched me closely, as if something important depended on my answer. Well, I don't know. Lovely. Yeah, it's lovely here. I guess you're right. She smiled again. It's very good that you think so. Why? Well, not everybody likes it here. And what about you? Me? Yeah. Yeah, yes. Okay. I love it here. It's great. Then you don't need to worry about what other people think. That music is also very... It's music for a party, not for a heartfelt moment. Well, I don't really worry. Slavia laughed. This conversation seemed to be leading me far astray from where I wanted to get to. Then worry yourself. Really? Why do you say so? Well, when someone's chewing so intensely... I'm sorry. It's okay. I can bring myself to be more cautious around this girl. But why her in particular? Why not any other local inhabitant? Every one of them looked completely normal to me. Precisely normal. So normal it sent chills down my spine and into my marrow. Normal, not like a neighbor with a power drill in one hand and a subwoofer in the other. Not like a passenger you can often meet in a subway or on public transport. Not like a co-worker at the next table in an open plan office. And not even like a friend who only differs from other humans in his constant insistence. All of them looked normal, as I would expect them to be, with their own downsides, but without any superpowers. And Slavia was also cute? I glanced at her stealthily, not knowing what to say. I'm sorry, I wanted to show you the camp but was run off my feet. I didn't miss anything while on my own, I guess. Are you sure you haven't missed anything at all? She smiled so brightly that I had to drop my eyes in confusion. Ah, where did I drop my eyes? Sorry for that. Well, how would I know? It's my first day here. Okay, and what have you seen so far? I've seen the square, this canteen, the football field. And what about the beach? Just from afar. You really should go there, or let's do it together. Let's don't do that together, because if we do that together, I'll have to record it and you'll be half naked. Yeah, okay, we will. Her naturalness started to scare me, but then I thought, what if everything that happens here is how it's supposed to be and this world looks strange only to me, while from them it is normal? Maybe I was thrown into the past. Yes, that would explain a lot. Can I ask a stupid question? No. Jesus Christ, this game is so beautiful. Can I ask something? No. Can I go to the city? No. Okay. Slavia smiled and stood up from the table. It's late. Can you find a way to Olga Dmitrievna's by yourself? Of course I can, but why should I go there? She settled you with someone. What for? Probably this question seemed stupid because Slavia burst into good-natured laughter. You need to sleep somewhere, right? That makes sense. Fine, I'll be off then. Good night. Night. It's strange that she left in such a hurry. Also, everything is quiet now. A bundle of keys left in the door caught my attention. I was going to catch up to Slavia, but where does she live? And knocking on every door during the middle of the night didn't seem like a bright idea. Take the keys, leave the keys. Damn. You know what? I think I'd take the keys. I'll return them tomorrow. Maybe I'll return them to Olga. Yeah. I'd better take them. I'll give them back tomorrow because who knows what happens here at night. Such thoughts gave me chills. It's me who needs to be careful here in the first place. The night, though dark, wasn't silent at all. One could hear chirping crickets, the song of the night birds, and rustling trees from everywhere. A sudden desire to follow Slavia's advice and go to the campsite cabin appeared. I don't know why, but the sight of the unknown bronze builder of communism put me into a constructive mood. Because Russian? I sat on the bench and started to recall everything that happened today. That was all my constructive mood could offer. He was much brighter near the canteen, and tardy pioneers were running by, so this place didn't seem scary at all. Bus, summer camp, girls. I was so tired from everything new and strange that they could not come up with a single explanation for what was going on. I had a barely noticeable rustle nearby. I shivered and looked in that direction. A girl, reading a book. Lena. Ah, that's such a nice music. I decided to move closer and talk. She was the only new person I had met here before here without exchanging even a few words. Oh, what the hell? Sorry. Hi, what are you reading? Then I was so surprised that she even jumped. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. Never mind. She blushed and started at the book again. So, what are you reading? On the cover was written, Gone with the wind, nor wind. Praise the book, keep silent. I'd praise the book. A good book? Thanks. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think that such literature suits her very well. Then I didn't seem to be interested in continuing the conversation. Well, if I'm bothering you... No. She answered while still looking at the book. Can I sit beside you for a while? Why? And really, why? Maybe just because I was very tired and having company is better than being alone. Maybe I wanted to try to find something out from her. I carefully examined Lena. But no, I doubt that. Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to? Feel free. But if I'm bothering you... No, you're not. I can leave, just say. Everything's alright. Okay then. I sat on the end of the bench carefully. After such an intense talk, staying here was the last thing I wanted, but it would be nice to just stand up and leave. That didn't really go well, huh? Lena hasn't answered anything. It seems I made a fool out of myself. I bet if Uliana was here, she'd have a good laugh at me. Do you enjoy being here? I recalled Gustavia's question, question and thought it would be a great start for a conversation. Yes. She smiled slightly. I guess I like it too. Lena definitely isn't very sociable and probably can't carry on a meaningless conversation as easy as Slavia. But there was something about her that attracted attention. I cannot speak. Like a momentary glimpse of a reflection in a glass on a rainy autumn evening, which makes you turn around and stare into darkness, searching for something that you saw out of the corner of your eye. That's very poetic. Of course, you weren't able to distinguish or understand what it was, but it felt so tempting. And then I was reading the book without paying any attention to my presence. And I had no intention of asking her anything about this camp or this world in general. A beautiful night. Yes. How in the world would you start a conversation with her? It's late. I have to go. Yes, it's quite late. Good night. Night. There's something strange about this girl. At first glance, she's a typically shy and modest pioneer girl, but the mystery of Lena took its own place in the massive list of mysteries about this camp, which I had started to put together in my head. Yeah. This evening, there's nothing like a good time with nothing to do. I headed towards Olga Dmitrievna's cabin. The light in the house was on. Jesus. Hello, Semyon. You're quite late. Yeah. I went for a walk to look around the camp. Alright. You'll be sleeping here. She pointed her finger at one of the beds. Right here? I was surprised. Yeah, something wrong? We are out of free cabins anyway. The camp leader smiled, but I rather think it was just out of politeness. You do want to be a decent pioneer, don't you? There's a clear emphasis on the word decent. Yeah, sure. I was lost in thought for a moment. Don't you mind it, mademoiselle? She looked at me oddly, with surprise and some offense in her eyes. A pioneer should respect their elders, Olga Dmitrievna said strictly. Of course you should, no one argues with that. I blushed, not realizing what was wrong. Shouldn't you also? She stared at me. Oh, that is such a gaze even a mithril forged by the best dwarf masters from the deepest dungeons would melt. Sure. What's up, Toots? What's up, Toots? Annoyance and a lack of understanding made me raise my voice. You must address adults appropriately. Yes, of course, there are a lot of strange things here, but this girl's just a couple of years older than me. Maybe even younger. But I decided not to argue. Just a few minutes ago, I would never have called her an adult. I have to admit that she was also given a strong character. In any case, I wasn't in any position to argue. As you say, ma'am, I mumbled. That's much better. That is how a decent pioneer should conduct himself. And now it's time to sleep. Honestly speaking, I was going to become a neither decent nor indecent pioneer. Just yesterday, I wasn't going to become a pioneer at all. But do I have a choice now? If you don't want to, we'll have to make you. This is the motto Olga Dmitrievna was probably going to use. Well, I climbed onto the bed and closed my eyes, only to realize how tired I was after today. Something hammered in my head awfully, as my brains had started a night shift. What the hell? That's a loud bumping. And they seemed to be aimed more at rolling steel than working on something more sensitive. Yeah, I can hear just blasting that music. The bus flew through my mind. And then the square with the monument. The canteen full of pioneers, and the malicious face of Liana. Slavia. Lena, And even recalling Elisa didn't give me too much of a negative feeling. Could you stop bumping? What I'm here for good? What if I'm here for good? Day 2. Okay, Fox. That's where I'm saving the game. We're gonna leave the episode here. We're also going to come back in the next episode. So, okay, stop right there. So I wanted to thank you guys for watching. Yep. And I wanted to ask you guys to give your opinion on the game, because the game looks interesting. The characters are somewhat cool. I like the art style. I like basically everything. No surprise that the game had overwhelmingly good reviews on Steam. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!